Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire. Well folks, La Cumbre Vieja on La Palma continues to rage. There is still no indication whatsoever that this volcano has any intention of subsiding anytime soon. The earthquakes are still as constant, however today not as numerous, but they are still very constant. What concerns me the most is that these earthquakes, there's at least a 4.1 or 4.0 anyway every single day pretty much now. The fact that not a day goes by where there's not at least a 4.0 earthquake is absolutely startling to me. My rhetorical question is, how much earthquake activity can a small little island that measures maybe 30 miles by 15 miles withstand? I mean, just the constant hammering of these earthquakes, albeit smaller ones, but the fact that it's just hammering and hammering away at the island, how long until something very bad happens? I mean, this certainly can't go on indefinitely until something happens. Not to spread fear or anything, but I mean, that's just logic. Something cannot take, such force and nothing eventually happens, given the fact that the fault line has ripped all the way to the west coast on one side from a previous eruption. They've had to evacuate approximately another 800 people from their homes because the lava didn't follow the existing lava tubes and deviated, and their homes are now in danger. So this situation basically continues to exacerbate. I wish I could find evidence that this situation has, some sort of closure on the horizon, but unfortunately, I don't see it. It's just not there. The volcano has also destroyed a cement plant, and this new lava flow has essentially burned through many more banana and avocado crops. So this is continuing to impact the economic activity on the island as well. Having said that, let's get into Volcano Discovery's latest update on this volcano. The activity has been stable during the past 24 hours. At the cone, pulsating lava fountains continued from the more or less merged vents inside the crater, generating an ash plume rising approximately 3,500 meters altitude, drifting towards southerly directions. Thanks to the trade wind regime avoiding ash drifting over to the east coast, the airport of La Palma is operational again today, but 11 flights were cancelled and others delayed according to local news. The volcanic tremor remains high. It has increased a bit compared to previous days, suggesting continued high effusion rates of magma. No significant ground deformation was detected, meaning that the magma arriving into the system is balanced by the magma being erupted as lava. In other words, the eruption seems in a stable phase at the moment. While most lava is going directly into the lava tubes feeding various parts of the flow further downslope, a surface flow remains active from the cone's opening to the west, sneaking its way along the northern margins of the flow field. Most growth of the lava field was from active flow fronts along the northern margins, according to far untouched areas of Todoque and near Laguna. Additional 700 to 800 people from the area were ordered to evacuate their houses, local press reported. We have been obligated to evacuate a new area. The lava is advancing slowly. People should have time to take their documents and their personal items and anything of value, said Miguel Angel Morquende, technical director of PEVOLCA, according to an article in TRT World. The numbers of earthquakes remains elevated, but has decreased to about 50% of what it had been a few days ago. During the past 24 hours, there were 2 quakes of magnitude 4.0 or above, 19 quakes between 3.0 and 4.0, and 49 quakes between 2.0 and 3.0. The locations of the quakes remain the same at about 10 to 15 kilometers depth beneath the central part of La Cumbre Vieja volcano, with no clear trend of quakes becoming shallower or migrating sideways. Their exact meaning is unknown, but the most accepted interpretation is that they reflect magma intruding into that area, which in the case acts as refilling the magma storage system. This might help explain why the eruption has been continuing at remarkably steady diffusion rates for 3.5 weeks now. So there you have it from Volcano Discovery, folks. They basically think that this volcano is going to continue. There's no end of it in sight, unfortunately, at this time, and quite frankly, no one knows how long this is going to erupt for. Now, I'm going to get into an article, folks, that is very important because the scientific community now, unfortunately, believes that there could potentially be a tsunami with all this earthquake activity. Now, I don't want to get you all afraid that this is imminent. They are just merely putting forth a theory. There's going to be sources in this article, so take it with a grain of salt. This is just their opinion. It doesn't mean it's absolutely going to happen. The collapse over the weekend of part of the volcanic cone set a flood of bright lava pouring from the La Cumbre Vieja ridge that burst open on September 19th. The fast-flowing stream carried away chunks of lava that had already hardened. According to the latest data from the European observation system Copernicus, the lava has completely or partially destroyed 1,186 buildings with 95 more at risk. Julio Perez, the regional minister for security on the Canary Islands, said, "We cannot say we expect the eruption that began 21 days ago to end anytime soon. But fears are growing that the lava into the sea could cause a tsunami." This follows studies assessing the impact of this on the Canary Islands. A scientific article by Stephen Ward of the University of California and Simon Dave from the University of London warns of a possible mega tsunami from La Palma. They estimated that the giant waves generated by a flank collapse would hit the Moroccan and Spanish coasts in 2 or 3 hours. The wave would then surge across the Atlantic to strike the Brazilian, US, and Canadian coasts in 9 hours. Research by CSIC's Geosciences Barcelona also reveals a tsunami risk. By reconstructing the last major geological cascading event that took place here 180,000 years ago at El Brigo, when a volcano collapsed, they were able to analyze what would happen. This would produce catastrophic effects in several parts of the island and trigger a devastating landslide, then displace water to produce a tsunami. The study was published in the Journal of Geophysical Research, Solid Earth. This is the third volcanic eruption on La Palma, home to 85,000 people in a century, although the last one dates back to 1971. So there you have it, folks. The scientific community has officially issued a tsunami risk. Before anyone jumps down my throat and accuses me of mongering fear, I have just cited the sources, so go check it out for yourself. Now, someone in the comments asked me if I would warn them if the worst happened and, the island does crack in half and there's a tsunami. The answer is, of course. If that did happen, I would issue a very quick video and just say something to the effect of, folks, the worst has happened. If you live on the east coast of the United States or Canada or Brazil or Morocco or Spain or anywhere that's in the line of fire of the tsunami for that matter, you need to leave immediately. I wouldn't go into a long drawn-out report about it. I realize that some people have to get away, and I also realize that the government probably isn't going to warn you about this in time, and that you need to get to safety. But folks, let's hope that we never get to that point. That's just their opinion that it potentially could happen. It's official now that the scientific community is at least entertaining it. So it's getting more real by the day, folks. And like I always say, be prepared. Have a bug out bag. Have a full tank of gas at all times that you can leave on a moment's notice. Your personal possessions are replaceable. You are not. With that, thank you so much for coming along with me to my update. Please remember to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe. Thank you so much once again, and God bless.